Hey, it's Ricky from All Sorts of Words. Let's get this channel canceled.
Who needs an intro when you've got crippling depression?
Okay, so the origin of this video is I've been so busy. Back in July, my wife and I were like plotting out our calendars, and we were like, we're gonna blink and it's gonna be November, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Every week feels like it's only taken a day. We have plans every single weekend, and so for those of you who've been watching this channel for a while, the whole reason this channel exists is because I don't have anybody to talk about comic books with. Like, literally no one. I only found one comic book store in my area last week, and I've been living here in the area for a year. This video is all the pent up stuff I've been thinking about in regards to comics that I haven't been able to get off my chest. So now you have to suffer. Welcome to Sufferton, Sufferville. Suffrage? Well, I'm going to be going through 4 things that I thought would absolutely piss off anybody who watches this video. So if you want to hear me just burn this channel to the ground with bad opinions, stick around. Are comics good investments? No. See, okay, that's kind of an unfair question because it reminds me of those moments where Congress is interviewing somebody and they're trying to get their point across and make it all about them. And so they say like, excuse me, I asked you a yes or no question. Do you love your kids? Well, yeah, I love my kids. So you're a molester. Great. That's not what I meant. Yes and no questions. It's just, there's no room for nuance. And here it comes. Are comic books a good investment? In a vacuum, were no other investments on this planet to exist? Yeah, sure. If you have no other way of making money, I guess it's a cool place to park your cash. But in terms of like, is it better than land ownership? Is it better than the stock market in general? Is it better than just putting it in your couch and sitting on the raw cash? No, not really. Comics, you can't unload them like you can a stock. Even the cash in your couch is liquid. You know what I mean? Like you can't just get rid of it. You have to find a buyer. You have to find it at the right price. So we're going to use a real example. This is my copy of Action Comics 252. You like that? Look at all that glare. There we go. Yeah. I spent 2,400 American dollars purchasing that comic book. Well, it's gone up about $300 since I bought it back in June. Let's, for even numbers' sake, round that up to $3,000, okay? We're playing with $3,000 here. Let's say today I decided to get rid of this book. It's ballooned to $3,000. I'm going to make a pretty penny, right? I do my doodly doos. I put it on eBay. What do you know? It sells the first day. That's thrilling. And the guy pays $3,000. Awesome. I made $600 profit. Wait. See, eBay's going to take around 15%. Now, I got to tell you, I have friends in real life, people who I know, who've shown me their eBay pages, and we have witnessed together them taking up to 20%, one time even 21% when he sold a Miles Morales book. But 15%, we'll call it the fair baseline. So what's 15% of $3,000? Well, 10% is 300. Half of that's 5, so it's 450. $3,000 minus 450 is $2,550. Whoa, that's not so bad. Sucks that I'm losing out on all that money, but in reality, I'm still making $150 on my investment, right? Wait. Because the federal government passed a law back in 2020 that says they want a cut of any private sales that you make moving forward from that date, which is 5%. Okay, well, what's 5% on $2,450? They want 5% of the total sale. And since we already determined 5% of $3,000 is $150, now your $2,450 just turned into $2,300. I'm checking the math in my head to make sure that's right. So now you're making $3,300. I paid $2,400 for this book, which means I've paid now $100 for the privilege of keeping this book in my house. Great, $100. That really sucks. Wait, you want to ship the book, don't you? You got to get it to the person who bought it, which means you got to pack the thing. I don't know about you, but packing material doesn't grow on trees. I'm also going to pay for signature verification and tracking. Let's say I catch the postal service on the best, saliest day ever, and I'm spending $50 for priority, first class, top tier shipping. That puts me down to $22.50. Now I've spent $150 for the privilege of selling the book to somebody else. That's kind of crazy, right? So in reverse math, think of it this way. This book I bought for $2,400, okay? It would have to increase 25% in value for me to lose $150 after eBay fees and after shipping. And I know someone out there is going to say, well, yeah, it's because you're selling on eBay and you shouldn't do that. You should be selling on like a marketplace or, getting to meet people or whatever. I just told you when I started this channel, it's because I don't have anybody to talk about comics with. So like, what community are you exactly hoping I would invoke to move this book? It doesn't work that way. And go on eBay. Look at all those people selling AF-15s and even an Action Comics #1. Are they absolute idiots and you're way smarter than them not owning those books? It doesn't work that way. It always bugged me too, how people talk about comic books in stock terms like, oh, this is a blue chip key. Well, just buy a blue chip stock. If you're going to spend $35,000 buying a low grade copy of Amazing Fantasy 15, why not $35,000 in Walmart stocks that's going to pay you a 5% dividend every quarter? Number 2, I think people are unwilling to admit how much of a fad the Marvel movies were. Their TV shows are going down the shitter. People aren't watching them. I know people with Marvel tattoos on their body who don't watch all of the TV shows or haven't even seen all the movies. I know one guy with a Marvel tattoo who hasn't seen Shang-Chi or Black Widow. He didn't watch any of the pandemic releases. Everybody's got different reasons for it. I don't care about the politics. I don't care about those characters, but I think there was a certain type of magic that Kevin Feige had back in 2008 when Iron Man came out. The movie was a little edgy. Robert Downey Jr. was obviously giving the performance of a lifetime. And I don't know if they've ever been able to capture that lightning in a bottle again. Little things about Marvel movies just bug me, like the comic book nerd in me. Like Thor's thousands of years old, and all of a sudden he's like almost completely dropped the these and the thous and the way that he speaks. Because he's been hanging out with us for like 10 years now. Like he didn't have any other friends that impacted his language. I don't know. It's a nitpicky thing, but I am noticing more and more people distancing themselves from the Marvel brand and retreating into comics, which is fine. My worry is that Disney's going to see a decrease in ticket sales as a decrease in interest in the brand because paper comics aren't going up. So I don't know. I don't know if this is a hot take so much as it is just like an observation I'm making, but I get the feeling that Marvel's in for a few bumpy years coming ahead. Okay, this is a big one. I believe the real reason for people sticking with one brand over another, your Marvel, your DC, whatever, is because of the sunk cost fallacy. There's something called the sunk cost fallacy, okay? And it's best explained with this analogy. So you just walked into a Burger King on your lunch break, and there's 4 people in front of you, okay? Now, you see that line and you go, oh, I can be in and out of here in a couple minutes. It's not so bad. 10 minutes go by, and only one person has moved ahead in line. And so you only have 2 reactions as a human brain. One of them is, I don't have the time. I got to get out of here. The other one is, I've been here for so long, I should probably just stick it out. And that's what we experience as comic book readers. I've met so many people who hate the X-Men, but because they have such an affection for the Claremont run, they're never going anywhere. Can't be helped. Now, I'm not immune to it. You saw how much I spent on the first appearance of Supergirl, right? Well, I also have pretty much all of the DC's New 52, like literally all of it. And this Supergirl run, this horrible Supergirl run, is literally one of the worst things I've ever read. It's trash, genuine trash. But I love Supergirl so much that anytime there's a Supergirl book, I keep buying it because I'm a lunatic. I'm not above it. I think I am very much a victim of the sunk cost fallacy, that I love a character so much I'm willing to swallow any shit they feed me. Okay, this is a big one. This is the last one, then I'm going to get out of here. I don't think the Marvel movies can tell adult stories. I think they're kind of hamstrung by their audience. The fact that they have a theme park attached to a theme park for children, and they're pandering to adults while also keeping in mind their child audience and the fact that they sell Funko Pops to kids. It really makes me think of a joke by Chris Rock.
So when you white, the sky's the limit. When you black, the limit's the sky.
Do you see what I'm saying? If you're DC Comics, the sky's the limit. But if you're Marvel Comics, the limit's the sky. DC does some pretty janky stuff every now and then that I think to myself, there's no way that would pass off in a Marvel comic book. You read Identity Crisis by Brad Meltzer and Rags Morales, and you tell me with a straight face that Marvel could ever get away telling that story. Even just a couple of years ago, that Batman Damned book where they showed the Bat Dong, they said it was like a mistake, but no, it was an artistic decision. It backfired and they didn't like it. But like, there's no way Marvel would ever get away with showing Captain America's hanging brain. I don't know. I just, it feels like when Disney bought Marvel, they had a very specific idea of what they were going to turn Marvel into. And I think they kind of succeeded. And that might be pulling back the fan base. Why the fan base for the first time is actually sitting out movies. I want to make this very clear. I am completely willing to be told off on any of these points. If you think I'm an idiot, if you think my financial advice is stupid, or you want to just rattle off in the comments about how my percentages were wrong, I am so happy to read those. If you haven't noticed yet, if you comment on this channel, I read the damn things. So I am willing to be wrong about this stuff. It's just, this is how I feel. Every comic book nerd on the planet has these very strong feelings, and now I want to hear yours. So let me hear from you. And also, you know what? Like, subscribe. It's free. It helps out my channel, and I will, I'll think about you. If you hit subscribe, I'll think about you. I'll think about you if you subscribe. That's a promise. Love you. Bye.